You've been lying to yourself for too long, wearing a mask that doesn't fit, a mask someone else gave you. You pretend it's who you are, but deep down, you know it's not. Tell me, how does it feel to smile when you don't mean it? To nod when you want to scream? It eats you alive, doesn't it? And yet nobody sees it. Nobody cares. To them, you're just someone manageable, a harmless pawn in their game. But here's a truth they don't want you to know. If you want people to see the real you, not the version they created, but the one you've been hiding, you've got to destroy the fake version they built. Tear it apart, piece by piece. Let it go. Burn it down and rise as your true self. When you do that, they'll feel the emptiness they've been feeding you. And when they do, it'll shake them to their core. Every person who's hurt you did it because they thought they could. They saw your doubts, your cracks, and your insecurities, and they took advantage. Why? Because weakness attracts cruelty. It's like blood in the water, and they're the sharks. But here's the twist. They don't expect you to fight back. They expect you to fold, to break, to lie there while they take what they want. But what if you didn't? What if instead of patching up your cracks, you shattered the whole thing? What if you stopped trying to fix the version of yourself they controlled, and instead created something they couldn't touch? Imagine the look on their faces when they realize they've lost their grip on you. That's not just revenge. That's freedom. Life isn't a fairy tale. No matter how much people try to sell you that dream, they tell you to be kind, to forgive, to hope for second chances. But the truth is, life doesn't reward weakness. It punishes it. Every time you let someone walk over you, every time you swallow your pain to keep the peace, you're handing them another piece of you. How much more are you willing to give away before you finally wake up? Here's the thing. People don't change out of kindness. They change because they're forced to. Because the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of the unknown. Pain, as much as it hurts, can be your greatest weapon. Use it. Let it shape you. Let it forge you into something stronger, something they can't break. Do you know what separates the strong from the weak? It's not strength or intelligence. It's the willingness to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. You've got to stop fighting the darkness inside you and start using it. Embrace it. Let it fuel you. That's how you win. Not by avoiding the tough parts of life, but by owning them. Think about it. Who wins in the end, the sheep or the wolf? The wolf doesn't apologize for being hungry. It doesn't care about being liked or accepted. It just takes what it needs. Be the wolf. Stop hiding behind the mask they gave you. Tear it off and show them who you really are. Make them regret every time they underestimated you. They'll call you crazy. They always do when they're scared. But being called crazy by people who live in a lie isn't an insult. It's a compliment. It means you've woken up. It means you've seen the world for what it is. And once you've seen it, there's no going back. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep playing their game? Keep letting them pull the strings? Or are you going to cut yourself loose? The moment you decide to stop being their puppet, they lose their power. That's the moment you start to win. I know you feel it, the anger, the hurt, the fire inside you. It's been smothered for too long, but it's still there. Stop holding it back. Stop apologizing for it. Let it out. Kill the old version of yourself, the one they controlled, the one they manipulated, and rise as someone they can't even begin to understand. That's how you make them feel every ounce of the pain they caused you. That's how you turn their regret into your strength. Do you ever wonder why they move on so easily? Why your absence doesn't leave the hole you thought it would? It's because the version of you they've been dealing with was disposable, replaceable. They don't lose sleep over someone they thought they could control. They don't cry over a tool they can no longer use. But here's the twist. When you stop being what they expect, when you destroy the old version of yourself and become something unrecognizable, that's when they notice. That's when the story changes. People don't fear what they understand. They fear what they can't predict, what they can't control. You want them to feel the weight of everything they've done to you? Become something they can't define, something they can't box in or label. Stop holding on to the past version of yourself, thinking it'll keep you safe. It won't. Safety isn't what keeps people around. People value what they can't have. They value what they can't control. If you're always there, always giving, always forgiving, you're just the air they breathe. Essential but unnoticed. But if you disappear, if you burn the bridges, if you become the ghost of their mistakes, that's when they feel it. That's when the air gets heavy. That's when they choke on the silence you leave behind. So stop waiting for them to care. Stop hoping they'll wake up one day and see your worth. They won't. They never will. If you want their attention, you have to take it. Force them to see you by shedding the old skin and becoming someone they don't recognize. Someone they can't ignore. They thought they could define you, box you in, and keep you small. But you don't have to let their labels stick. Tear them off, one by one. Redefine yourself on your own terms. Chaos, unpredictability, and strength. These aren't flaws. They're your weapons. Use them. Be the storm that shakes their comfortable little world. Be the person they never saw coming. It's time to stop being what they expect. It's time to stop apologizing for who you are. You've been holding back for too long, and it's killing you inside. Let it out. Burn down the version of yourself that they controlled, and rise as someone unstoppable. That's how you win. That's how you make them feel the weight of everything they've done. So what are you waiting for? It's your time to rise. Rewrite your story. Be the wolf, not the sheep. Take control, and never let anyone hold you down again. The world doesn't reward the weak, but it fears the strong. Be the person they can't define, the one they'll never forget. Your time starts now. You don't need their approval. You don't need their sympathy. What you need is their respect, and respect at its core often comes from fear. Fear isn't about intimidation. It's about being undeniable. It's the language of power, and once you understand it, you'll never go unnoticed again. Here's the hard truth. They don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. Your loyalty, your kindness, your sacrifices, these are just transactions. And when you've got nothing left to give, they'll toss you aside without a second thought. So why give them anything at all? Why keep pouring yourself out for people who never give back? Stop seeking their validation. Stop chasing their approval. That part of you, the one that craves their recognition, let it go. That's where your freedom begins. You might think this sounds harsh. It's not. What's harsh is what they've done to you, making you believe your worth is tied to what you can provide, convincing you that you're nothing without them. I'm not being cruel. I'm just telling you the truth they've kept hidden. The truth stings, doesn't it? But pain is a gift. Pain reminds you that you're alive, and it can drive you to change. Use it. Let it make you sharper, tougher, and unstoppable. You might wonder, if I change, won't I lose myself? Won't I become someone I don't recognize? Good. That's the whole point. The person you've been isn't working. If they were, you wouldn't feel stuck, drowning in self-doubt. So let go of that version of yourself, the one that plays small, that gives too much, that lives for others' opinions. Lose it all, and find the version of you that takes what you deserve without asking. Think about a snake. When it outgrows its skin, it doesn't cling to it. It sheds it without hesitation and leaves it behind. Be the snake. Shed your old self, your old life. When people come looking for the version of you they used to control, let them find nothing. Let them feel the emptiness where you used to be. Let them regret how they treated you. Let them lie awake at night, haunted by what they lost. But don't do it for them. Do it for you. You deserve better than the life you've been living. You deserve more than being their scapegoat or punching bag. And the only way to claim what you deserve is to take it. No apologies, no compromises. Just take it. People love to talk about second chances as if they're something everyone gets. But ask yourself, when did they ever give you yours? When did someone extend a hand to lift you up instead of pushing you down? Second chances aren't handed out. They're taken. If you want a new life, you have to kill the old one. No fairy godmother is coming to save you. If you want change, you have to create it with your own two hands. Look at yourself. Look at the pieces they've left behind. You can wait for someone to come and fix you, or you can pick up those broken pieces and build something new. Build something stronger. Build something unbreakable. Their opinions, their judgments, just noise. The moment you stop listening, you'll hear something far more important. Your own voice. And that voice? It's been telling you all along that you're capable of more than this. They want you to stay small because it makes their lives easier. But easy doesn't win. Easy doesn't make them regret underestimating you. Easy doesn't change the game. You want respect? Then stop playing by their rules. Rewrite them. Wolves don't care about the comfort of sheep. Wolves take what they need. And that's what you need to do. Be the wolf in a world full of sheep. Forgiveness is overrated. People act like it's some kind of virtue, but all it does is let your enemies walk away unscathed while you're left holding the pain. Don't forgive them. Don't forget what they did. Use it. Every betrayal, every insult, every time they left you behind. Turn it into fuel. Let it burn away the part of you that ever needed them. Power doesn't come from being nice or patient. It comes from struggle. The strongest people aren't the ones who've had it easy. They're the ones who've been broken and rebuilt themselves. They're the ones who've walked through hell and come out the other side. Not as victims, but as something untouchable. That's what you need to become. Someone who refuses to stay down. Someone they can't break. The world doesn't fear strength or power. What it fears is transformation. The moment you change, you take away their control. They can't manipulate what they don't understand. They can't predict you if you don't play by their rules. So stop trying to fit into their box. Break it, burn it, scatter the ashes, build something new, something they can't even comprehend. You've got a choice. You can keep being the version of yourself that bends and breaks to keep the peace, or you can kill that version. Bury it so deep that even you forget it ever existed. And in its place, you can create something stronger, something fearless, something that doesn't care about their opinions. It won't be easy. Killing your old self is messy, painful work, but it's worth it. It's the price of freedom. And once you've done it, you'll feel it. That weight lifting off your chest, that fire igniting in your soul. You'll feel alive in a way you never have before. When they see you, the new you, it'll destroy them. Not because they cared about you, but because they cared about controlling you. And now, they've lost that control. They'll see the monster they helped create, and it'll haunt them. Not with violence or vengeance, but with proof. Proof that you don't need them. Proof that you're better without them. So go ahead, kill your old self. Burn it. Bury it. Do whatever it takes to make sure it's gone for good. Then rise. Rise as someone they can't ignore, can't control, can't destroy. Rise as someone who doesn't just survive, but thrives. Someone who takes what they want and leaves the rest in the dust. In the end, this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your life, your power, your identity. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Start transforming. Let them judge. Let them talk. Let them wonder. While they're busy whispering, you'll be rising. And when you rise, rise so high that their shadows have nowhere left to hide. They've put you in a box, haven't they? Told you who you should be, how you should act, and what you're worth. Let's talk about killing your old self. It's not just a metaphor, it's a battle. A messy, painful war against every bad habit, toxic thought, and weakness that's held you back. It's not going to be easy. Transformation never is. But if you want to build the new you, you've got to destroy the old. So grab your tools, your courage, determination, and grit, and start tearing it all down. Smash every lie they've told you about who you are. Burn the bridges that lead back to the version of you they could control. Don't stop until there's nothing left to hold you back. Here's the thing. When people see you changing, they'll panic. They'll try everything to pull you back into that box. They'll guilt you, manipulate you, and even use love as a leash. But real love doesn't cage you. Real love sets you free. If someone's holding you back, it's not love, it's fear. Fear of losing control over you. And you know what? That fear is their problem, not yours. You can't grow in a cage. You can't thrive under someone else's expectations. Breaking free will hurt. It might break your heart, but that pain is the price of freedom. And freedom is worth every tear, every scar. Once you've started this transformation, don't look back. Don't doubt yourself. The past is dead, and you've buried it. The only thing that matters now is the future you're building. Be ruthless. Be relentless. Because if you hesitate, they'll see it. They'll pounce on your uncertainty and try to drag you back into the shadows of who you used to be. Don't give them that chance. Don't give them the satisfaction. If you want to make them regret underestimating you, show them the version of you they never saw coming. Show them the strength they tried to crush. Show them the fire they thought they'd extinguished. And when they crawl back, begging for forgiveness, don't give it to them. Forgiveness is for the deserving. They don't deserve you, not the old you, and definitely not the new you. This isn't just talk. Every great revolution, every powerful story starts with one decision. The decision to stop being a victim. To burn the script others wrote for you and write your own ending. That's what you need to do. Write your own story. No co-authors, no editors. Just you and the truth of who you are. They want you to think you're powerless, that you're trapped. But they're wrong. Their game only works if you keep playing by their rules. Their biggest fear isn't you fighting back. It's you realizing you don't need them, that you never did. The moment you stop seeking their approval, you win. And nothing scares them more than someone who has nothing left to lose. So lose it. Lose the fear. Lose the guilt. Lose the version of yourself that breaks and bleeds for people who don't deserve it. Kill it. Bury it so deep they can't find it again. And when they look at you, let them see the void they created. Let them feel the weight of what they lost. That void, that absence, will haunt them far more than any words or actions ever could. They've built their lives on your silence and compliance. But what happens when you stop being silent? When you start demanding what you're worth? They crumble. Their fragile sense of control falls apart because it was always built on you staying small. But you're not small, are you? You're a storm waiting to happen, a wildfire ready to ignite. So set yourself free. Burn through every expectation they placed on you. Imagine them, years from now, sitting in their neat little lives, thinking they had everything figured out. And then they see you. Not the you they knew, but the you they tried to destroy. Strong, unstoppable, fiercely alive. Imagine the look on their faces when they realize it was their actions, their words, their betrayal that pushed you to become this powerful. Every insult, every moment of cruelty, every time they made you feel less was another spark that lit your fire. And now, that fire is something they can't control. That's the irony. The very things they used to try to break you have made you stronger. And when they see that, it'll destroy them in ways you never could. They'll lie awake at night, haunted by what they lost. Meanwhile, you'll be so far ahead, thriving without them, that you won't even notice. Revenge isn't about hurting them. Real power isn't about making them feel your pain. It's about thriving without them. It's about proving that their words, actions, and opinions are meaningless in the grand scheme of who you are. But here's the catch. None of that happens if you stay the same. None of that happens if you cling to the person they made you. You've got to let that version of yourself go, completely. No half measures, no looking back. You can't hold on to the past and move forward at the same time. So make a choice. Stay in the box they built for you, or break free. Show them what happens when they lose control. You've got fire inside you. It's been buried under years of their lies and your doubts. But it's there. And it's time to let it out. Kill your old self. Say goodbye to the person you used to be. Burn the bridges, tear down the walls, and leave nothing but ashes. Let those ashes serve as a warning to anyone who ever doubted you. The new you That's someone they'll never forget. That's someone they'll never recover from. Build a life so bold, so fearless, so untouchable that they can't help but envy it. Kill your old self and show them what happens when someone stops playing by their rules. And while you're at it, don't just transform quietly. Let your story inspire others. Show them what's possible when you stop living for others and start living for yourself. If this message hit you hard, if it lit a spark inside you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep building, keep growing, and keep proving that the only opinion that matters is your own. You've got this. Now go be unstoppable.